Alright guys, there is some Twitter news that Look Upon the Stars has in their own way clarified or confirmed things that are going to be happening moving forward in the DCEU. Once again, you are not inclined to believe any of these things. Do with this information what you will. I will just say that Look Upon the Stars has been pretty accurate before, and they do tend to have reliable information, so I'm gonna go with it myself and say that this is more than likely what will be happening. Even in saying that though, things can change drastically at any point. Tomorrow they could feel differently, next week could be a new rumor, and next month what was going to happen is no longer moving forward. But for now, I'll take what we can get. So there's a total of 5 scoops here, and I'm gonna go with the 2 that, some of us might be interested in, but then as the video goes on, I'm gonna end with the one that we all want to know. Starting off with a Black Canary update, someone asks if Black Canary has any updates, and Look Upon the Stars does reply with not much. I do know the story has changed since my very first scoop, but I know Lady Shiva is still very involved. So first of all, let me just say, maybe I was wrong. I know in my recent video about rumors, I did say something about the Black Canary movie simply not happening, and my reasoning for that was because if they were going to cancel something like Batgirl, why make a Black Canary movie in the first place, especially when you have David Zaslav, who wants to focus on the Trinity and doesn't really want to put too much emphasis on B or C class characters until those A class characters actually have a voice within a connected universe. I like Journey as Black Canary. I think she's done a very good job from the limited screen time we saw from her in Birds of Prey. I am okay with her having her own film. I don't think it's necessarily needed, but if it's there, it's there, and I'm okay with being wrong. If her movie is moving forward, that is a-okay with me. And the addition of Lady Shiva, I think, is really fantastic. I really do like the character of Shiva as well. I do have a video on this channel where I go into the history of her character. She is arguably the best hand-to-hand combatant in the entire DC universe, so having her in a Black Canary film would be very interesting, considering Black Canary herself is probably on a top 10 list of best combatants, so I would not be surprised if they would have a fight with one another in the film. The choreography at that point, you would hope, is going to be off the charts. Black Canary is a character that Batman sends all new recruits for Justice League or Teen Titans teams to train with her. Black Canary knows what she's doing, and going up against Lady Shiva, that would be a pretty awesome fight scene. Now, this is a little update on the Blue Beetle film, where Look Upon the Stars says, got a very short sneak peek at Blue Beetle without VFX, and I think it'll be great. Also, the whole movie's not obviously in Spanish, but a good portion, not a scoop, just conversing, by the way. So yes, this movie being in Spanish rumor came from Susan Sarandon, where she was on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, not sure which one, and she was talking about her time on the film, stating that a lot of it is going to be in Spanish, which I think is pretty cool, considering the Blue Beetle character has a lot to do with the Spanish culture. This also does clearly show that the film still needs some VFX work, and that's probably the finishing and polishing touches of the movie, considering that the movie's supposed to be coming out next year. Who knows at this point if it gets pushed back or whatever happens to it. I also know I did say before that I wouldn't be surprised if Blue Beetle is going to get canceled. Now, looking at this film, not sure if that's going to happen. Once again, never say never. We still don't really know what's going on with Warner Brothers. But I have heard things that Blue Beetle is actually a very solid film, and I have also heard things that it is very important to the future of DCEU. I'm very, very curious on what that means and how it is very important to the future of the DC universe. But for now, expect it to come out and expect it to look really pretty, because based off of all things I've heard about the film, it's looking good. Now, this third one is a small scoop, but it's also a pretty big one when it comes to the importance of DC. Someone asks, when can we expect another Justice League film? And Look Upon the Stars responds with 2026. That's 4 years away. You gotta go through all 2023, 2024, 2025, and let's just say, for example, Justice League came out in December of 2026. That might as well be a 4th year. You have a lot of time to wait if that is what's going to happen. As disappointing as that might sound, it's understandable because it's really uncertain what the Justice League will look like, who they're going to be facing, what it's going to be about, who will even be around for this film. By 2026, how old are some of these people going to be? And no, I'm not worried about Henry Cavill being a 42-year-old man playing Superman. He looks very good for his age, by the way. That's the least of my worries. My worry is maybe somebody like Ben Affleck. You're going to have Ben Affleck being a 53, 54-year-old man. Not sure if that's how it's going to play out. I'm not sure if that's what they want. It's going to be interesting to see. And no, this is not me saying I don't want Ben Affleck as the future Batman. I know I rip on Michael Keaton a lot for being too old to play the character. I don't want to see that old of a guy playing Batman in a main continuity. The difference with Ben Affleck is even though he's 50, even though he's getting up there, his Batman is still holding up. His Batman recently just beat Superman. His Batman was capable of fighting off alien forces in Justice League. He does not strike me as a Batman the older he's getting, the less he can move, whereas with Michael Keaton, I do feel that way. Regardless, I'm sure someone like Zaslav or whoever's making these decisions within Warner Brothers has been thinking about that. I'm sure they are wondering about the age factor with Ben Affleck and Batman. I'm sure they are trying to figure out a way around it. I'm sure they're trying to do a lot of things with this Batman character to ensure that when a Justice League movie comes along, it is going to work, whether it be Ben Affleck or somebody else. Nobody here is expecting a Justice League movie for 2023. I don't think anyone was expecting one for 2024. It would be nice if we could get a surprise of an announcement for Justice League of 2025. Unfortunately, the more I think about it, 2026 does sound more accurate, and by the time we get that movie, there is a strong chance I will be 30, which is, oh my god, crazy. I guess the way they might see it is maybe in a situation of, look, you got a Justice League in 2017. It was absolutely butchered. You then waited another 3 to 4 years just to get the real vision of it from HBO Max and Zack Snyder. And then ever since then, DC has been so up and down with the direction of the world they've been trying to build. They probably think to themselves, you know what? If they could wait that long for a Justice League film, we might as well make them wait longer, and then when this next Justice League film comes out, we'll actually have a stable ground and direction of where we want to go. Yes, 2026 sucks, but if they can make it good, I'm here for it. Now, the next two scoops are the biggest ones and the ones that a lot of you are going to want to hear, so let's start with this one. When asked if Hush is going to be in Batman 2, Look Upon the Stars does respond with, I've heard this, but I've heard it's in plans to be a reinvention, but also a certain politician too. I've been saying Hush for a really long time. I even said that I would like it if Hush was the main villain in Batman 2 before the first Batman even came out. I know there's a lot of clues to potentially the Court of Owls being the main villain of that movie, and I'd be okay with it, but I think Hush could fit it. I did make a video a couple of months ago talking about who could potentially be the villain of the next movie just after the first film came out, if you want to check out that video and see what I had to say. But why I'm even mentioning that video is because soon after I put up a poll, and I specifically asked what villain, or villains plural if there's going to be more than one, who would you want to have be the villain in the second Batman film? And the options I laid out here were Court of Owls, Hush, Joker, Mr. Freeze, and I even added an other option just in case there was someone else we weren't thinking of. And I gotta be honest, I was really surprised by the amount of people who voted for what specific character on this poll. Now, you gotta keep in mind, I don't have the biggest fan base out there yet. This is based off of 221 votes, so this could look so much different anywhere else, but still, with on my platform, I was still interested. You had 41% for the Court of Owls, 14% for Hush, 11% for Joker, 30% for Mr. Freeze, and 4% for other. Court of Owls winning that is no surprise to me. I'm a-okay with it. Although, if the Batman film is going to be made within a trilogy, maybe 3 movies, I do think the Court of Owls would make sense to hold them off for a finale. Even though the idea of a really good Mr. Freeze in a live-action adaptation sounds entertaining and sounds very intriguing, I really don't know how Mr. Freeze would look within a realistic Batman universe. I know a lot of people use this explanation of, well, at the end of Batman, the city is flooded over, and that could cause Mr. Freeze to come in and freeze up the city. I understand it. I don't see it. I just don't think Mr. Freeze fits this world. If they found a way to do so, though, I'm not going to complain. Even though Joker only has 11% on this list, I understand why we maybe wouldn't want the Joker being the main villain. And I'm not saying Joker should be the main villain, but what I am going to say, Joker needs to be involved somehow. I understand many people get annoyed how Joker tends to always be the main threat to Batman at the end of the day. I'm not saying that needs to happen for this film, but what I am saying is he needs to be in it. There is no Batman without Joker, and there is no Joker without Batman. If you do want Batman to be successful financially too, you need the Joker to be involved in some sort of capacity. Then that leads me into Hush, which I believe is the perfect opportunity for a villain in this second Batman film. I think Hush needs to be the villain, actually. There are a lot of clues and Easter eggs to Hush and Thomas Elliot in the previous movie. If that's not enough to maybe bring that character into the film, how about this idea that Look Upon the Stars said that this is going to be a reinvention of the Hush character, a politician too? To me, maybe I'm blanking on some notable politicians within the Batman world. The only one I'm thinking about right now, though, is Harvey Dent. Are they gonna find a way to merge the Harvey Dent Two-Face character with the Hush character? Is that what this is being referred to? I don't know. That is a very interesting statement. Now, would I be okay with this? I don't really know, to be honest with you. I think Hush is a very different character than Two-Face. I think bridging these two characters together is weird, but it could possibly work. I'm not against it completely. Personally, me, I would just keep Hush, Thomas Elliot, and Two-Face, Harvey Dent. If they can find a genius way around this, sure. But overall, we'll just have to see if that ends up happening. And then this is the big one that everyone wants to know. Are Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck in Warner's DCEU plans? And Look Upon the Stars responds with yes. I had a feeling that all of these things happening recently means that Henry and Ben were coming back. The entire reshooting situation with Aquaman, the extra scenes of Ben Affleck in The Flash, and all these rumors of Henry Cavill as Superman are all coming into fruition. I still understand if you do feel I can't trust this. I don't know if Henry is back or Affleck is back. Personally, I will say right now, I 100% think that Henry Cavill is going to show up at the end of Black Adam. If not, I will end up crying myself to sleep. And with Ben Affleck, I did believe there was a lot more than what was being said with the fact of him coming back for Aquaman and Flash. Now, I also made a video recently about the potential of a World's Finest film, considering someone else had a scoop or some sort of report that what they thought was going to happen was a World's Finest movie with Affleck and Cavill was going to be created. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know if that is a thought, but if it is, this would make a lot of sense considering they are both coming back for their respective roles. And the fact that it is a future plan, it's not just a 1 or 2 movie appearance, it is a regular occurrence makes me feel good about what the future could hold for these two guys. That's why I can only imagine that the next Justice League movie we get will have Cavill and Affleck leading the charge. But I always say this isn't a Hollywood trade. This isn't Hollywood Reporter or The Wrap or Collider or Deadline. They are not reporting this saying, hey, Affleck and Cavill are back, because they are not ready to say that yet. So if you don't believe this, I understand, but this is as close as we're going to get to a confirmation if it is going to happen. As of this moment, it feels good to know that the chances of Affleck and Cavill coming back are much higher than they probably were 2-3 years ago. So just as usual, guys, it is now your turn to leave me your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe some of these rumors? Why or why not? And I'm sure over the next days, week, and months, we are going to continue to get more rumors and more leaks and more scoops, especially too since Black Adam is coming out in nearly a month. Around the Black Adam time and after the Black Adam time, I think we are going to start to hear a lot of things. But that is all I have for you on this one, guys. So until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.